Modern culture pulls us in opposite directions at the same time. One side tells us to speak our truth, regardless of the fallout. The other pressures us to keep the peace and prioritize others. Leaning into the raw instinct of unfiltered honesty creates immediate collateral damage. When honesty lacks a lens, it tortures relationships and creates a level of noise that makes the truth impossible to hear. But the passive instinct to prioritize harmony is equally destructive. Swallowing your feelings to avoid conflict breeds a quiet resentment that eventually erodes your sense of self. Toggling between these two states, lashing out one day and shrinking the next, strips you of personal agency. You are no longer acting, you are merely reacting to the pressure of the moment. Self-mastery requires a state called dominion. This synthesis involves stepping out of the emotional crossfire to observe how these forces interact. Instead of choosing one extreme, you harness both to produce intentional action. True control does not belong to the loudest person in the room, nor the quietest. It belongs to the person who can master the friction between those two states. We analyze human behavior using this structure: two base pillars of unchecked impulse and rigid discipline. Consider respect. The impulsive thesis argues it is commanded. You walk into a room and forcefully extract acknowledgement from everyone. The antithesis suggests respect cannot be forced, but is passively earned through quiet consistency, waiting for others to recognize your value. Both extremes eventually fail. Taking respect aggressively breeds fear, while waiting breeds invisibility. The synthesis recognizes that respect is established. You command initial attention, then validate it with long-term trust. The same dialectic applies to how we build and maintain loyalty. Demanding rigorous proof before offering a drop of loyalty creates a paranoid environment. Treating everyone as a potential enemy prevents trust from ever forming. Conversely, giving loyalty away without boundaries or standards leaves you exposed to betrayal. The synthesized approach treats loyalty as a choice made first, proven by time, and maintained through mutual consistency. Social currencies like respect and loyalty are structural constructs. They only survive when you maintain the active tension between clear intention and deep patience. This dynamic moves from social interaction to the mechanics of power. We often ask if power corrupts a person's character, or if it merely reveals who they were in the dark. Look at this note. It suggests a different definition. Power is an amplifier. It takes your existing character traits and scales them up. This applies to internal emotions like ego. Too little ego makes you hesitate and keeps you invisible. But when a massive ego goes unmanaged by self-awareness, the amplified signal distorts, fracturing and leading to self-destruction. The same logic dictates our relationship with fear. It is not a weakness that limits your potential, nor a weapon used against others. We can view fear and ego as neutral data streams. They exist to inform the brain of risks to avoid and opportunities to seize. They are meant to be read, not obeyed. Power and emotion do not dictate behavior. They magnify the baseline level of discipline you carry into the room. To reach this state, you must stop acting as a combatant caught between your own impulses and anxieties. You become the moderator of your own internal arena. You observe the anger, the fear, and the ego as they flare up, but you watch them from an elevated position without submitting to them. This shift requires accepting that not every feeling you experience deserves outward expression. Some reactions belong solely to your internal process. However, every feeling does demand internal awareness. Acknowledging the emotion in real time prevents it from festering into resentment. The metric for self-mastery is knowing precisely what needs to be said, choosing the exact moment to say it, and executing a controlled delivery. The ultimate display of a dominant mindset is the ability to hold the fire of your truth and the ice of your restraint at the same time. You speak your truth, and you respect the room.